Hi, John from CopperWiFi and U5 Networks, and we are here at my house, and what we are going to be setting up a Ubiquiti AmpliFi. This is kind of one of their new products that they released not too long ago, and it is designed for the home environment in order to solve Wi-Fi access where it might be needed on a larger home. So we have about a 2,500 square foot house. We've centralized our Wi-Fi through a power line converter just to get it in a more logical space. This house was built around 1905, so running cables in here is a little bit challenging. So it's actually kind of a really good setup for the AmpliFi. So I thought we'd get one, test it out, and show you guys that whole process. So let's go ahead and unbox it. See if we can figure this out. A little magnet on the opposite side of the handle. Alright, so we have our main unit here. This is going to be the router, as well as what distributes the wireless signal to the additional antennas here. See if we can get this plastic off here. There we go. All right. Give you a little Ethernet cable, some instructions on how to set this up, power, and then our repeater antennas. And I've seen some other videos online. First thing, don't be afraid when these come apart. It's just a magnet. This way you can adjust them, do whatever you want. You can probably put another antenna on these if you don't have the long range. These are actually the long range antennas, so they're a couple more dBi of output. So the plan is we're going to set this up in replacement of my previous wireless access point at the base station. Then we're going to put one of these antennas in my room here, and we're going to toss another one in another room down at the other end of the house, and we'll show you that just real shortly here. Alright, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our base station and get it hooked up to, I'm going to leave a current router in there, mainly because I have a public IP address, a static IP address, and I don't want to have to configure that on here for the purposes of this video, so we'll just double NAT things. And follow me down here, find the closet that our internet is in. Alright, so here we have our power converter, which links it up to where it comes in out of the... we actually have a wireless antenna that we feed our internet from. And I'll just reuse a cable here. So let's get this guy plugged in. Alright, so it lights up on the bottom. Plug this into our internet port here. So get a IP address via DHCP. And that should be it for right here. We'll get on the app after we get the antennas put in and start configuring our wireless setup. So now we're going to take one of our antennas here, and I have to use a little adapter because we actually don't even have 3-prong in our house. And we're going to plug it in right next to our TV over here. So as far as I know, I actually haven't read the instructions yet, but I'm assuming all we have to do is plug these in. So here's an outlet. Get that guy plugged in there. And this is where our Apple TV is. We're going to set it basically right next to it. It's a straight line directly down to where the base station is, so we should get a really good 5 gigahertz signal for the mesh network here. For our second antenna, we're actually going to head upstairs. So Mike, if you follow me here, this isn't the ideal This isn't the ideal placement for this unit because it's fairly close to the base station, but it is going to provide some extra coverage upstairs. So come on up. Alright, so right next to the bed here we have an available outlet. And again, like I said, this is an old house, so the outlets were actually placed sideways directly onto the baseboard. So we're just going to pop it in sideways if I can. Yep. Just switch it around like that. So this one's going to be sideways. Completely understand that they're probably meant to be vertical, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens to the link or the client connections. So at that point, I think we're ready to get on our app and take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so now back by the base station, and after you plug it in, it's asking you on its display to download the AmpliFi app from either the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store. So we're going to do that. I actually think I already have it on my phone, and we'll show you exactly what that process looks like and how to configure the AmpliFi system from there. Now that we have our base station hooked up, I'm assuming it has an IP address from the previous router. We have both of our antennas in place throughout the house. Next step is to get the AmpliFi app, and you can get that again from the Play Store or on the iOS App Store. And I'm going to record what we're seeing on my phone through the computer so you can go through the steps with me, exactly what I'm doing. So let me hit record here. Waiting for this to start, takes about 5 seconds. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do is hit continue. It says welcome, congratulations on your AmpliFi purchase. We're going to set up our AmpliFi. First thing it says, power off your modem. Next step, connect Ethernet cable. It's kind of going what we already did. Connect it to the WAN port, power it on, and we're going to go ahead and hit continue. We kind of went through all those steps already. So we're looking for AmpliFi devices right now. Sorry about that. We actually lost the amount of storage that we needed to on our iPhone for recording. So now we're right next to the base station. We can get a much better signal to it for configuration. And back here on my phone, it just found the AmpliFi, and we're going to click here to connect to it for configuration. So it says connecting, and all right. So it looks like we're looking for a name of your wireless network. We're going to call it Sparks. That's what we've always called our Wi-Fi. Create a password. No offense, but I'm going to put a generic one in here until I put the real one on. And we're going to put admin 1234. Click done. And reuse same password for administration is what it also asks. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and do that for our home system here. So now it says setting up. I actually just heard the base station ding behind me here. It says setup complete. You're now your new Wi-Fi is up and running. Open Wi-Fi settings and connect to Sparks. Okay, so we're going to go connect to Sparks, which loads us into our settings on our iPhone. It's connecting. Actually, it's not connecting because I had to save the profile from the previous SSID. So I'm going to come in here. It's going to ask me to put my password in. So admin 1234. Click join. This is a WPA2 AES type of encryption, and so that's fairly decent for your home. Most people would have that. And coming back, I'm going to try and connect Sparks again, see if my profile updated on my phone, and see if we can get connected to this guy. Looks like it wants my password again. So admin 1234. See if it connects this time. If it doesn't, I'm probably going to have to delete the profile for it. Oh, it worked. Okay. So it looks like I have an IP address of 192.168.161.156. I'm guessing that the gateway for the AmpliFi is 161.1. I don't know if those are random or that's standard. But for all intents and purposes, it really doesn't matter because it's an IP address for access onto the network. And it looks like that should be it for the setup of the Wi-Fi. Your speeds. So I have a newer iPhone, and looks like that's the time here, 11:29. So I think that it also shows you your speeds and things. So let's see here. Looks like it shows our total amount of bandwidth when we're looking at it. And I'm just basically swiping a little bit. Our WAN IP address, so you can clearly see if it has a link to the internet. And we can do speeds here. I don't know if it's... Actually, the speeds is the active speeds, I would guess, because right now we're not doing anything. But it gives you, just tapping on it, gives you a little bit of information. And has a built-in clock, so that's kind of cool. One of the really important things to understand is how this system works. And as we're looking at a home-based mesh system, what does mesh mean? And what is the topology that we're looking at when we're looking at a wireless setup where all we're doing is plugging in antennas and they're linking up wirelessly, but we're also using them for access to our clients. So imagine, if you will, your frequencies. So here's a channel and here's a channel. In a mesh, these two are on the same frequency, meaning that they're on the same physical medium in the wireless spectrum. These two can communicate each other even if they're different routers. Now in our case, we have 3 different ones. So we have our base station, and our mesh point upstairs, and our mesh point over in the back room. So what they're doing is they're connecting, and they are on the same physical medium, they're authenticating together, and then that's providing our extended access for connections to themselves, as well as our overreaching client access to extend our coverage as well. So the way that this used to work was just on 2.4 gigahertz. So we would use the same 2.4 frequency in order to communicate to our clients and back to each other. With 5 gigahertz on dual band antennas and devices, we have the ability to communicate our uplinks at 5 gigahertz, which is much faster, more reliable. The antenna pattern is a little bit better. And then if we need to, we can extend our coverage on a different frequency. And this provides a much better uplink for our client access, so we don't have as much co-channel interference, which can be an issue when we're doing a lot of data through a mesh. So we can have a client on 2.4 gigahertz, but our actual uplink to our base station can be on 5 gigahertz, which obviously there's no channel interference when we're looking at 2.4 down to 5 gig. Frequencies aren't the same. So that's one of the advantages of a dual band system, and this runs 802.11 AC. So when we have our connections set up, we need to make sure that we pick a clean channel up front. So if there's already interference on our mesh system, we're going to, by default, have problems. So we didn't pick a channel with this. I'm assuming that the base station went through and picked a channel automatically. And over the time that I'm using this week, I'll see how that performs. If you have one, feel free to comment and see if see how you like it. That'd be great. I bet other people would love to see that. If you have any questions or comments about this video or any other video, definitely let us know. Leave comments below, and be sure to like us if you want to see more videos from us in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and enjoy your setup of your Amplify.